Okay. You're presenting, Azumi?
Hello, so today on July 12th, we're going to be presenting the Archlabs Archive 23, which is the issue 31st. All of this we've talked about before, so we can go straight to the new concept exploration where we have changed the main form and I've started exploring the skin as well. So in the future, you can add the hyperlink to the index so that we don't have to go through all of this and we can just skip in the index.
So yes, that's one of the examples that we have looked at, which is a platform. It's a temporary platform. It was Malta. It's called the Anteroom, and it's a very light, floating platform on the water for swimmers and divers and people who are coming to tour around the area. And it's made out of timber. If you go to the next page, you will see the actual structure of the model. So it's made out of parts, and it's made out to be light and floating above the water, and it's attached to each other to make this circular platform. And this is what we are kind of looking to get to in terms of the platform that we want to do for the installation.
Well, in this week, we've been doing some research of coral nurseries, and here we display some information and image to reference the kind of project that we're aiming to do. One of them is we display what is actually a coral nurseries. That actually is a specialized area or a structure designed to grow and cultivate coral fragments. And based on that information, we share some example of this kind of structures and the types of it. One of them are the underwater racks, the tables, rope base, and frames. All of them are used as a nursery structure. Also, we found some structures. This one is in Indonesia, where they look for artificial reefs that could create different chambers for growing corals in danger. And this project is really related with what are we designing right now. So this could be a really interesting reference for the base form and the platform we're gonna design to. On this image, it really represents how the importance of this project and how the goal of we're looking for is actually to provide a stable growing area for new corals that are meant to be there in the future.
I'm going to, can you go back so that I can interrupt for a second? Riam, I was
Yes.
telling you when she showed me this structure that I imagined something like this to be the base, like the anchoring base of the installation. This is what I think he was drawing. Like, imagine that you are looking at it in, well, let me take red.
Yes, when I saw it, yes, but then you remember when we were designing and we were doing parts like a skin and a frame. Now, since then, we have been looking at volumetric, a whole volume of something. So the bottom part has to link to the top part. So this, we're going back to the same thing. I know that you're talking about like the actual volume.
It will be going back to the same thing, but it's like he said before that we're going in like all around. Like, I think that the concept that we are exploring now is way more similar to the initial concept.
Yeah, me too. I think so.
So, which is completely fine. That's not what I'm saying. It can't, like, I mean, there's two ways to look at it. If you're looking at it and you could be like, oh, it doesn't work because we already did that, or we can make it work, like figure out something to work. And what I was thinking is that I like how this interlaces, and I was thinking maybe these areas could become something like this, but then this would be the skin, like what? You know what I mean? Like instead of being like wired, let's say that this is like covered in the skin that we've been designing. Oh,
Yes.
the image, let's say. And then you can have like spaces like this in the bottom so that we can have this nursery type going on at the bottom of the ocean for like the deeper coral reefs. So yeah, but you can continue.
Well, what I see at the end, it would be like a combination of the whole ideas.
Yeah.
See, for sure.
Okay. Well, after the research, we stand out a few key points of how the future structure we are designing should have like big key points, and the structure must be stable in normal to large storms. Is one of the points we talked the last review with the architect too. About how the structure must be like resilient because of the weather, the temperature, and storms too. The structure also have to be designed to have a high surface complexity, most for the different types of animals, organisms, and corals that are gonna live there, and also how the structure must be made with materials that must be non-toxic for the environment. And those some of the key points. Well, after this research, we made a few design exploration too. In this case, is the platform design process. For the platform, we start with 3 models in this time. 3 first models. Each model is correlated to each other. Here the first 3 shows how's the process of how the result is it comes, also the dimension that it has. And on the left and the right, there's this graphic of how each model could be united from the combination of 1 and 2, and the 3 of them. Even though the 3 has similar shapes, the 3 has its difference, especially on the sides, on the left and right sides, because this will be the space where it's gonna be attached. So each model has its own characteristic and its own angle, to be able to be attached in the future. So here is a detail of the last image, where we can see how the model is created, the basic model, because this is the first step. So we're gonna to keep exploring more and to have more detail on how we're gonna work, because this platform will be like floating. So this just is the first phase for this. So important about this one especially is that one of them will be flat, but others will be a slope too. So people could swim to jump to the sea.
A small interruption. Slope is with S at the end, but also
slopes. Okay.
Sí, slope tiene S al final, but also.
Okay.
So you're doing this, and I think that we're looking more of something that maybe becomes this sloped, and then this is under. Let me draw it here, just so that you don't model it. That one slopes, and then this one's underwater, let's say, like shallow,
Okay.
like a pool entry area.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one is sloped again. I think
Okay.
that to have those, so it would look something like this. Like if you're doing an actual drawing, sorry, an actual,
Oh yeah, I
so-
remember. I did a sketch. I'm gonna add her here too, because I remember the from last review about how the same platform we're going down and again like continue to up the surface.
yeah, so I have so many more like, and then this is the other ones over here. But then in the deeper in the lower one, you have like this like natural pool, let's call it. You could
Mhm.
sink there and just chill there and be inside the water.
Okay. Oh well, now that you say that, it's important to notice that the dimension that we choose for this model is 2 meters by 2 meters. But this is just a representation, and because it's kind of regular, polygon, it could be more bigger. Depends of the
I
activities
think
we're gonna
I
to
think that we can
explain.
scale it up. I mean, the way that we're doing it,
Mm-hmm.
technically, you could just scale it up and have like
Exactly.
in some spaces have them 2 by 2, and others you can have them 4 by 4. You know,
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Okay.
it's a matter of scale depending on where you add it.
Exactly. So here is the second one and the third one. After this, thanks. So in these graphics, we made the logic, how the models will connect each other. In this first phase, we identify each sides because each side, the orange and the black ones, has different angles. So each angles have the ability to be connected. But for example, the model 1 can connect with the black side of the two because it won't matched. But each one can be matched because of these colors. So this graphic explains how will we work, or the idea of how the models will connect. And finally, here's a representation of a possibility of how this could be work of the platform. This one is this circle represents all just the vertical drop. It won't be like a circle, but it's just a representation that this platform will be connected to the vertical drop in some points. And the second circle is a projection of the platform. In this case, a circle, but could be any form, just the projection of it. And each models will be like organized based on the projection that we wanted to recreate. And here also represents how each one is connected with each colors and the difference of each models. Also about the slope that we talk about later, we already talked. Here are some representation of how it looks in the first phase, but after the observation of Isabel, we're gonna change that a little bit more.
So this is what I've been working on. It's modeling the pattern. Still working on that. That's the last. This is the last one that I did. So the task was to create a sample 1 meter by 1 meter, just to have a go at the beginning. I still need to send this in the group and get feedback on whether I understood the task correctly or not. But that's the actual pattern of the tracing of it, and that's the modeling part of it.
So what I understood was part of the exercise was this is good because you traced the pattern. So what he was trying to explain was like in a multi-layer dimension, let's say. You have this here, right? And what happens on a second plane behind this. So the skin wouldn't be like just flat. This is why I also like say that we are going back a few steps to the original skin, because I don't know if you remember that when we were talking about this, let's say that if you're looking at it in section and you have this, sorry, I forget that you have straight line to dry, and this is the skin, then you would be able to have like, it wouldn't be like just one skin. Let's say that that's where you have the holes. It wouldn't be two either. I'm not saying that it's multiple skins, but I'm just trying to explain that what he meant was to, like, this is weird because it's still the first step, but he was saying to explore like the interconnections between like the layers. Let's say that this is the section, and then this is like, maybe some of them are just like plain and they're like literal holes and you can cross through, but maybe some of them are like pockets, or maybe like you have a couple of, you can come here and enter here and then have like this like cave-like form inside the layer. I don't know if it's too hard to understand.
I didn't understand that part actually, because he mentioned me working on the image that he sent, which looks
Yes,
like this.
so he said,
He didn't say to me work on the geometry anymore, because he wants it to be step by step. So we are doing something, he called it workshop. It's not to do with the geometry, because I modeled the sketch from the feedback, and then we're going back to like, I understand what he means. It's just it's modeling issue currently. It's not what you're explaining.
no, wait,
So
so he said, this
it's
is
me
what-
learning how to model this.
So this is what he said. He said multiple layers. That's why I'm saying it's multiple layers. So that we start thinking about the technique of form finding. And then we expand from the detail on outward. And then we can do Boolean operations on that geometry. So
Yeah.
look at the image. What you've traced is the initial plane. So you like, if you look at if you're looking at something, you have like, whoever is here is the first plane, somebody in the back, second plane, somebody in third plane. You know what I mean? So if you look at the image and you look at the openings, you can see that there's something behind it. So that's why I'm saying, like, in the image, there's multiple layers. Maybe it is this same pattern that's been just shifted, you know, and placed underneath. I don't know if you understand what I mean. Like, maybe it's the same.
Yeah, I can copy this. It's fine. Yeah, you mean what I've done there? I can copy
Wait,
it.
are you drawing, or is Namibia drawing?
I don't know who's drawing.
Yeah,
Namibia.
I'm drawing like the idea used to tell.
Let's say exactly. Let's say that this is this. Pero
I
in this case,
understand the part about the layers. It's the actual pattern that we're trying to figure out, right? To
it's
draw.
the actual, yeah, it's the actual pattern, sorry.
Yeah, that's what I'm showing there. It's the actual pattern of
Yeah.
1 meter by 1
That's
meter.
what I'm saying. Like, this
So
is,
I can replicate it.
yes, but what he said when he said the 1 meter by 1 meter, he talks about layers. That's why I imagined something like this as well. So it doesn't necessarily have to be that's a different pattern. It's just the same pattern. You can replicate it and try to shift them and figure out what geometries they're creating, or what voids or spaces they're
That's
creating.
fine.
within.
Yeah, that would be
think-
the next step. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is a great first step anyway, because we do have something right here. We can see like something skin-like. So, wait, let me redo it. Take, Namibia, ¿te puedes tomar un screenshot? Para que lo guarde ahí.
Done.
But yeah, I think that it is, yeah, you now that you have the skin, maybe you can add some, like, I don't know how you're gonna do this, like, is it, I mean, in Rhino, it's easy to do something like this, but I don't know how you do it in.
Is it? If it's easier, then I will just move on to Rhino, because
You use Rhino.
yeah, I used to. I don't have it.
I don't, yeah, I don't have it either, but I feel like this, like making this, so you know how you have this like plane and then you have like openings, right? I think that when you draw this, it is easier in Rhino to shift like to make this plane with the holes?
The problem is that yesterday, when I said, okay, yes, you know, he mentioned something about, okay, this is not the step for extruding or proboling yet, you know, so we don't do proboling yet. So
Okay.
it's about, he wants to go to the first step. That's what I understood from it. So that's why I'm not progressing anymore until
No, yeah, I
no.
understood. The only thing is that I did understand that the first step involved multiple layers. And
It's
then when
fine,
I,
yeah. Yeah, I can just copy it.
yeah,
That's
if you want, you
fine.
can just copy this and ship them and then send that and see if he tells you how to go on forth with like the booleans and extruding and everything.
Yeah,
Okay. I think it's good for now.
thanks.
Thank you. Namibia.